Winter review season is upon us. Joelle bops along with Spirit Swap lo-fi beats to match 3-2. Catherine wields her sword, shield, and godlike power in Avowed, and Leah keeps her villagers hustling in Foundation. Plus, the girls take on some real deal Jeopardy video game questions. All of this and more in the GoGCast. Let's go!
Get ready for the Girls on Games podcast, your weekly dose of news, reviews, and everything video games. Always served with a good helping of hype and just a pinch of salt. And now, your host, Leah.
Hello and welcome to another Girls on Games podcast. My name is Leah. I'm the host of this show. This is episode number 482. And joining me around this here digital table is Catherine. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm excellent. Joelle, what's up?
Yo, you know, the big game was on yesterday.
Yes,
and
it was.
Commercials are getting weird. Like, they're just getting weird.
Because they gotta somehow grab your attention, right?
But I don't like this. I don't like it.
Okay, there was one commercial, and Joelle, I doubt you saw it. And Kat, you probably don't watch the Super Bowl. But it literally made me whip my head around.
Was it the seal?
And look at the TV. No, I saw that. That was fucking terrifying.
No, 0 out of 10.
So there's this song in Canada that is, I think they call it the hockey song. Hello out there, we're on the air, it's hockey night tonight.
Yeah, that is the hockey
Tension
song,
blows, and the whistle blows, and the puck goes down the ice. Anyways, so absolute staple in Canada at the hockey game. That's going to play at least once. Everybody knows it. Song's freaking ancient. Along comes Tim Hortons, who decides to use that song in an ad. And it's all about how they're still Canadian, even though they're technically bought by the company that owns Burger King. So technically they're American now, but it started in Canada and so on and so forth. Anyways,
Legacy.
That song starts playing and it goes, hello out there, we're on the air, it's football game tonight. My head whips across and looks at the television. And I'm like, what are you doing with our song? And then I knew it was Tim Hortons because the ad was coming out. Anyways, they changed the song and did it for football. The good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. That's the main chorus. Mm-hmm. They changed it to the good old football game. It's the second best game you can name. I was like, thank the Lord. You didn't fuck with a classic, Tim Hortons.
I was gonna say,
you actually
blasphemy.
made me pay attention with all these damn commercials with their Seal as Seals and Doja Cat with Taco Bell and whatever else that I saw happening. This one I was like, bravo. You got me, Tim Hortons.
That is funny.
Because I obviously know the words, and it's one of those ones too where you sit back and you're like trying to remember, as soon as you hear it, you're singing along. Except for you're so used to hear that song getting cut off after the first chorus, because it's playing in the hockey game, and we don't have music playing when the puck drops. So nobody knows the second chorus. Somebody goes second period. Anyways, the commercials were entertaining. What'd you think of that halftime show?
Oh, loved it. On so many levels. I was like, this is amazing. I'm sure most of the people watching this game have no idea what's going on, but I was like, this is amazing. The production value was I know it was from Apple. I was like, way to go, Apple. I loved it. I was having a ball. I thought it was phenomenal.
It's so well shot. I couldn't get over how well it was shot, especially that one part where they were in the X, which not gonna lie, when you looked at it first and they had the X and the circle and the triangle, I'm like, oh, is this PlayStation branded?
Yeah. Well, it was a game. It was a
I know,
player
it was a
on
game.
Yeah, it was a game.
But the X part where
Sony.
they had the red and he was like jumping back
Yes.
but forth between like the 4 quadrants, I was like, that's so cool.
So much better than the Weekends getting lost in Miramazia.
Oh, do not knock the Weekend.
Yeah,
that was a phenomenal Super Bowl
I'm
performance
just,
too.
but that part where he's in the mirror.
That was wild.
and-
That was
Yeah,
wild.
I mean, I'm just saying this was a little bit easier to digest. I thought that the message came out so strong because it was so simple doesn't mean easy, but it translated through the choreography. The choreography was so strong and so good. I loved the costumes. I loved the layers of messaging. You know, you can take out of it what you will. And he looked great. Where can I buy those jeans? Like,
Were they flared? Because
yes, they were.
they were
flared.
beautiful pants.
They were. He looked phenomenal in them.
looked
I was
so
like,
good.
this is amazing. Yeah, I thought it was. I knew it would be good. And then Serena Williams cameo, like, hell yeah,
and
it was.
Samuel Jackson.
Oh my gosh, that was that. I was like, I love this.
I'm not gonna lie though, I was sitting there watching, and like he had that chain with the lowercase a on it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What?" I turned to Mike. I was like, "What the frick does that mean?"
A
And
minor.
then someone said A minor. I'm like, "I'm an idiot."
I know. Yeah, it was really good. It was
Oh my
so good.
god! And like how he teased it, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
went on another track because everyone's like, "Is
Uh-huh.
he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it?
Oh, I
He's
know.
gonna play it, not
I
like us."
know.
And then he did. So yeah.
The symbolism was deep.
The
I loved it.
symbolism. Now, mind you,
Symbology.
here's the thing: like some folks didn't like it, or like it weren't interested. But like, it's not. I get it. Like, Beyonce did her thing, Gaga did her thing. Fucking Prince is the greatest one of all time. And I mean, the Michael Jackson kicked it all off. But like, something super poetic about it, Now, it's always a little bit hard because, as the Canadian boy, it's hard to kind of see Drake kind of go down. Especially right now, it feels a little poignant to have him diss Drake, but considering everything, if they say it is as it is, I know. Oh, yeah, I know.
Get out the tiniest fiddle, Leah.
Yeah.
I know. It's just it just sucks. It's like, damn it, Drake. Damn it. But yeah,
That was great.
it was just so well done.
It
Yeah,
was.
The more
It
I
was-
think about it, the
it was
more I
so well
enjoyed
done.
it.
I
Yeah.
think like visually and artistically, I think it was one of the better. Rihanna's was very good.
Rihanna's was very good.
That was very good. I think it went up. It just pushed it up a notch. Like it
Yeah.
pushed up the production a notch. It pushed up everything a notch. And I guess like through everything that's going on, I just really appreciated what it all stood for, or what I interpreted it to stand for. And I was like, this is great. So
Did you
I-
like the actual football game and how it turned out? Were you going for Chiefs or were you going for the Eagles?
I didn't really have a dog in that fight. I was
okay.
actually disappointed the amount of times they showed Taylor Swift. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I really need to. I think I saw her like twice, and I was like, this is absurd.
Well, I mean, they showed lots of different celebrities there, and I mean,
They
she is
did.
dating
Well,
one
yeah,
of the
she's
key
dating-
players,
it's,
right?
It's Taylor Swift's boyfriend's, big
Yeah.
night. But I
Ooh, yeah.
no, I did. I thought the game. It was funny that the Chiefs lost. So
They got hammered. Kat,
Ooh,
did
it
you
was
watch it at all?
No. I usually
think you
catch
would.
up on the halftime show. I haven't watched it yet. I saw it was Kendrick, and I was like, I need to sit down and enjoy this, and I haven't
good.
had time to do that because
He raps so fast too.
so good though. Like, ugh.
he's so good. Honestly, like
Yeah, put on the subtitles.
I have two genres that don't vibe with me as much, and that's like country and rap. But when I find a good rap artist, it just tickles my brain in a way. And right now, that's Kendrick and Doechi.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Nissan Altima by Doechi. Fuck
Oh
me.
my god!
But now that I found more like women rap artists. I'm
there's a
vibing
lot.
way more with their style of rap. I'm going to be honest. I think it's because I grew up getting exposed too much to gangster rap. And that wasn't really my thing. But now that I'm discovering stuff like trap artists, and people like Doechii and Megan Thee Stallion, I'm like, yeah. Okay, this is.
I mean, Doechii, right?
Oh, it's Doechii. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing
It's
it wrong.
okay.
Doechii, yes.
That's easy to. I think that's an easy.
Yeah,
one to-
how she writes it is weird.
Yeah, it is really weird. Yeah.
Yeah. There's this other artist, maybe Kat, that I should introduce you to as well. His name is Ren. He's out of, I don't know if he's English or Scottish or what he is, but frig, he can flow. I've got some stuff I got to send to you. Because it's just smart. And you listen to it and like the stuff that he spits, you're just like, where did you come up with that? Like, holy shit. Yeah, I'll send you that. He's great. All right. Well, housekeeping. If you enjoy this show, since we just spent 10 minutes talking about
Sportscast.
football, the football game, you can subscribe. We're available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Podbean. If you'd like to get some GOG merch, you can go to designbyhumans.com/shop/girlsongames. Maybe you'd like to give us a tip, maybe buy us a coffee. You can do that by going to our Ko-fi. That's ko-fi.com/girlsongames. Kat, what'd you do this week? Anything fun and exciting?
The biggest thing I did is I fixed my front door.
Oh, yes, I saw the photo of one lock in your hand and the other one prominently on the door, which I assume was the new one.
Yes, and it's slightly crooked, but we're not going to look at that. But yeah, it came in like they were like 8 to 10 days. I don't know if it's because I'm in Montreal proper, but like it was at my door within like under 4 days. I was like, hey, awesome. And yeah, I didn't buy it. It was through the customer service. So I'm like, yeah, free lock. Fuck yeah. And as predicted, it was pretty easy because it's 3 pieces. You have the latch, the exterior piece, the interior piece. Like 3 pieces, about 6 screws, and you're in business. You need a Phillips screwdriver, a manual one. You don't want having a drill or an electric screwdriver can fuck it up. So it was pretty easy. Saturday was the day to do it. It was cold, but not too cold. It was above it was around -10. It wasn't windy because we've had a lot of windy days. So I could stand there with the door open and not, freeze my whole apartment. Well, not completely, like slightly ajar. And yeah, it took me all of an hour to undo the old thing, put the new thing. It's a lock with little programmable numbers. I had to go buy new batteries because the other ones were leaking, program the codes and everything, program my keys. Everything is working fine, and it actually works better. So before we were struggling with the electric part of the lock. Mm-hmm. Like there was something rubbing, the motor wasn't strong enough. This one, like I think I readjusted it when I installed it, and now it works perfectly. So we can start using the padlock again, even when it's cold. Because I was mentioning that the reason I got locked out the front was the key didn't work anymore, and the padlock kind of like unlocked halfway and wouldn't go the whole way. And I was like, I'm still outside. And the piece that broke.
Yeah.
The stupidest shit ever. Okay. So the way these locks work, right? You have the bolt.
Yep.
The door, you have a giant hole.
Yes.
Where you're going to put the lock, and you have a smaller hole to the side of the door where the padlock's going to go in and out, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And in your wall, you have another hole to catch the padlock. So the bolt part has a circle in the center, like has a piece, and then usually you have a long piece that goes from the key. You feed it through that, and then the inside piece that has a latch will, like it's like a male-female thing, will receive that, and then when you use the padlock, it just kind of turns the bolt and it retracts and goes out, retracts. And that piece is just like a long sliver, like a flattened out chopstick. And what receives it for the inside piece is just a slot. It just goes in, just like a little slot, and goes in, and 2 flat pieces, and when you turn it, it moves it. For the slot, the piece that is connected to the key barrel, it goes into a cylinder. It's 2 cylinders together. And to make sure the cylinders connect and they turn together, there's like a little plastic tab. And
One
that's
little
what's
piece of plastic.
That's what broke. That's why my key was like loose. Well, it was like turning, and then nothing was turning. But I could still unlock it from the inside.
Yeah.
Because at the inside is like I said, is just a slot. It's just like almost like a screwdriver head. Like it's all solid. And the motor for the padlock is inside. So both of these things were fine. The key broke for little pieces of plastic. And I think that's why Weiser is very loosey-goosey when you tell them the key doesn't work anymore. It's loose. It just turns and turns and turns and turns. Because I think they got sued for that bullshit design. And then I get the new one and I look at it. I'm like, this is like Joy-Con drift. Why didn't you fix it?
Well, is it still plastic on the new one that you installed?
Yeah.
Damn it.
But
Designed
it's
obsolescence.
Exactly. But at least this one, like I installed in the way that it doesn't get stuck as much. Because, we were having issues with the key sometimes, like in the cold, it would, like the bolt wouldn't retract easily, and we had to use a bit of force. And I think that's what broke it. This one is smooth like butter, like the one in the back of the house, like my second door. So I think we're good. So this is like this whole story of stress. And like, what do? I had to make a phone call for this.
The nerve. The nerve.
I was put on hold for 15 minutes.
A phone call, not in 2025.
There is nothing that we put off longer than an actual, factual phone call.
Yeah. For me to talk to the most, like, that man had no fucks to give. You can tell that call after call is just, no, I don't have the receipt. Like, this shit broke, and no, I don't have the receipt.
To expect the receipt from somebody in this day and age, like,
Yeah.
unless they supply digital versions, like, anytime someone asks me, do you want me to email you that receipt? I'm like, hell yeah.
Yes.
I don't want paper. What am I going to do with paper?
I'm going to lose it and
Burn
throw it
it.
away. That's what
Exactly. And like, for a lifetime warranty, at one point people are going to lose these fucking receipts.
Here's the thing too, that paper doesn't hold it because of the way that it's made. It's not like it's ink inside it. It's you scratch the paper and it does it. So like it goes funny over time.
Yeah. And I know like Big Brother and marketing data, and they're selling your data. When I go to a store and they're like, hey, you want to make an account with your email? I'm like, does that mean you can email me the receipt? And they're like, yes, I will do it.
Yep.
I will do it. I have, like I've connected my online accounts with the in-store account. Mm-hmm. So if I go to Rona or Home Depot and I buy shit, I get would you like this to email to your Gmail? And I'm like, yes, please.
Yes, please. More often than not, I say they offer a receipt. I say no.
I don't want the printed one. I want the email one.
Yeah, I don't want the printed one.
Yeah, exactly. And the grocery store is the same. Like we signed up for their points thing, like wow, or whatever it's called. And the best part about it is just emailing the receipts instead of them printing it. And then I can keep track of like how much we spent that way. Like Pascal has it on his credit card, and I have the digital receipts. Gives us an idea of like what we buy, when, and whatever. So like digital receipts all the way for this. Mm-hmm. So
Truth.
That was an
adventure.
That was my adventure. But yeah, shout out to the locksmith on Beaubier who took the time to talk to me and to be like, yeah, we can't fix this piece of shit, but just call them. They'll send you a new one, lady.
There you go.
And he's like, and if you see that, this piece is something like, if it's the dead pulled part or whatever, he's like, I got extras. Probably I can give you a new one. But he's like, if it's the thing that connects the key, the only thing you can do is get a new one. And I did. So I know there was a story about locksmith being shady. Do you call the emergency locksmith? They're not a real locksmith, and then they just kind of change your door, change your door, and then charge you $1,000. This place is not like that. They have the Better Business Bureau number, and the dude inside it doesn't give a shit. He does not need to bully you out of money. He has plenty of shit to do, plenty of stuff to fix, and find ma and pa shop. The moral of the story: even if I bought like a shitty lock from Home Depot, the ma and pa shop had good ways of me to deal with it, and I just dealt with the, lifetime warranty and got a new lock. But like, go to ma and pa shops. Is basically what I said. Don't Google and click on the first sponsored links. More often they're not, they're crooks. And just look for, because that place is like a staple in the community. And I'm like, you actually like fix doors for a living, and you actually help people when they're locked out, and stuff like that. So it all started with this story. This was a long-winded story. But all that to say, from if you follow Mercury Stardust on TikTok, that's like, hey, you're worth learning a new skill. I did it, Mercury. I fixed my door myself alone, and I didn't even cry once.
Yay!
Love it.
Wow.
Yay! Nose shedded
that's a
tears.
feat.
Nose tears. Is that even right? I don't think that's right English. Anyways, Joelle, besides watching the big game, what did you do?
I didn't do a whole lot. I feel like this is the first weekend I actually really relaxed and like feel fairly like I relaxed this weekend, and it felt really nice. And so yeah, I didn't really do too much. I am training for a triathlon that I'll hopefully do in June. And one thing that I was very proud of is that on Sunday morning, I usually do a spin class on Sunday morning, and after my spin class, I went in on the treadmill and I ran for a mile. So I was like, all right, we're getting the twofers in now. So
Nice.
So yeah, it felt good, and I was kind of like wondering if so I did a lot of triathlons in college, back in the day, in 2008. And so I was kind of worried if my body, like how my body would kind of react, of like, am I gonna get like PTSD and it's gonna get upset that like we're doing this again, or like how am I gonna feel like kind of going from a 45-minute bike ride, then I'm like, nope, you're not done. We're only partway there, and then we got to go do other stuff. And but I felt really good. I got on the treadmill, and I didn't run the whole way. I'm not like quite there, but my body was like, oh, like I remember how to do this. Like, oh, we're gonna do this now, and it was like, all right. And then so I was hopeful. I was like, oh, at least I'm not making myself like do something that like I secretly don't want to do. So that was good. Yeah, and I plan on doing like kind of like mini tries end of March, early May, where I'll do like a short swim, do a short stationary bike, and then do a run. And I'm trying to find a gym with a track.
Because
Because
you run around?
Yeah,
Instead of the treadmill?
Yeah, because it's really different. I mean, it's different, obviously, like going from a bike and then to running. Like it's a little goofy. Your body's like, what's going on? But it is especially different when you have to, like, when you're not on a treadmill, when you just have to power your own self. So I really want to make sure I also get used to that, because that's I feel like the biggest transition is from biking to running. So.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know you used to do triathlons.
I did. I did. The longest triathlon I did was a half Ironman. So
oh wow, that's legit.
Yeah, it was a lot.
yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I think it took me like 7 hours.
Wow.
Altogether. So it was a little less than a mile and a half swim in a lake, and then a 56-mile bike ride, and then a half marathon run after that.
Dang.
And then I And then I never wanted to work out again after the end of that.
I never want to walk, run, see sneakers, anything ever again.
Never want to do any physical activity in my entire life. But so that was a long one. So that's the longest one I've done. And then I did other things. I did CrossFit, got injured, was out for like 6 years, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like now my back's better, and I'm like, you know what? I should see if I can still I should prove to myself. I wonder if I can still do this in my old age. And so I'm like, let's just try this again. So here we are.
You'll finish it and be like, yep, I can do it.
Yeah.
But no more.
Yeah, we'll see how I feel. I feel like
I
feel like I'm either going to be like, yep, we did it. We don't have to do it anymore. Or I'm going to be like,
you're
all
addicted.
right, LFG. And like, how can I be the fastest geezer out here in my age category, which I do not run fast, so I don't know how that's going to happen. But I bike pretty fast, but I do not run fast, so I don't know.
Trying to remember what I did this weekend, and it wasn't that long ago. I know what I didn't do. I didn't play anything on my PlayStation for 24 hours.
That's right. Those sons of bitches. I was so annoyed.
Mike is in a whole bunch of leagues. He plays for F1, and the one that he plays Wednesday night is like tier 3. Thursday night is tier 2, and Friday night is tier 1. And sometimes he'll like connect and watch because they do have like shoutcasters like do it and everything. He's currently he's steady on the Wednesday night. Now they're trying to get him to move up to Thursday night so he can go to tier 2. But he's not ready for tier 1 yet. And so he'll watch, but like they couldn't do anything. Right? And then most of Saturday couldn't do anything. So yeah, luckily he was working. But then yesterday everything was back working to normal. So he did that.
When it came on? Was yesterday? I stopped
yeah,
even
I think
trying.
It was like Saturday night. I think it was Saturday night that it came back. It just gave me so many like PTSD from, when was it, 2011 when it went down for like 30 days straight? When was that, 2014? When did it go down for like that epic long time?
Ugh.
PSN outage.
Sounds about right. New date.
What was it? PS. Oh, it's going to give me everything now for.
Yeah, over the weekend.
PSN outage. It was. Oh, they're offering 5 days of PlayStation Plus extra for it being down. Damn. That's crazy. It was down for more than 24 hours, it said.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember when that big PSN outage, when was it? 2011. Yeah, that was the big one. April, it was out 23 days. That was crazy. I remember that. That was like when I was in the thick of listening to video game podcasts and stuff too, and like peak. But I'm actually excited about what I'm going to do next Saturday because it's the Canadian Video Game Awards.
Woohoo!
And Mike and I are going to go.
Fun.
Yeah, so I'm excited. It's happening at the TIFF Lightbox. I'm excited. I'm going to see a whole bunch of people. Naomi Kyle's in town for it. Yeah, her and Kyle come back to Toronto again.
Cool.
And they were like, "We were just here." I was like, "It's awesome here. You should stay." But yeah, so that I'm looking forward to that. So I guess I'll have lots of things to talk about with that next Monday. Let's chat Fantasy Critic because things are starting to happen now because we're in February. There's more games released. Mm-hmm. We're getting into the mini, I guess, winter review season when there's a lot of stuff that starts to drop. So, in the podcast league, 2 games released last week. On the 4th, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and that was on my catalog. Critic rating of 89, 19 points. And then the next day, the 5th, Rift of the Necrodancer came out. That's on Cat's portfolio. Critic of 81, points 11. There were no bids and no drops. So the rank currently, and now this might be a little different when you see it because obviously I'm reading based on what happened today, is me in first, Cat in second, Joelle in third. And we all have points on the board. And it begins.
It begins.
The Fantasy League for the community. So, 2 games released, same 2 games, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was on Margot's list. So, critic of 89, points of 19. Rift to the Necrodancer was on Steinby Kingsby's list. Critic 81, points 11. There was action on the bids. Fuga Melodies of Steel was won by Grumpy Grandpa Games, that's Phoenix, with a bid of $8. Ross, unfortunately, didn't get it. He had a bid of $6. He was out by bid. And then the video game that everybody's excited to play, I Am Jesus Christ, was won by Pat, IRR Gamer, with a bid of $7 as a counterpick. So he is counting against Jesus. Bidding against Jesus. Yes. What? This is not worse than I expected to say this evening.
This is well done. Well done.
There were no drops this week. The rank, Pat's currently in first. Margot's in second. Simon's in third. Stainsby Kingsby is in fourth. Albana's in fifth. Darth Stridius is in sixth. And Phoenix is in seventh. Nobody else is on the board. And that is the Fantasy Critic. All right. So, ladies, topic of the show this week is going to be talking about the games we've been playing because, as Catherine teased last week, she's playing Avowed. And Joelle got our hands on a game late last week, or like late when we were recording last week. So she's going to be talking about Spirit Swap Lo-Fi Beats. But because that's topic of the show, I thought maybe we could roll into our podcast game right away. So last week, we were chatting a little bit, and I had mentioned that I had seen some actual video game categories that had played out on Jeopardy. And I went and grabbed 2 rounds of it. And I thought it'd be fun. Okay. Now, this is not walk down memory card lane. This is not the geography one. This is not cats reading off random Steam reviews. This is going to be interesting because if this is the Jeopardy questions, I kind of want to go on Jeopardy, except I won't know anything about American history. So I will get all the video game answers, okay? All right. So the first category is video game duos. Now, ladies, do you want to do this like Jeopardy, where you have to say who is, what is, so on and so forth?
Well, yeah. I do.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. For $400... Now a master, Ash is besties with this mouse-like Pokemon who sizzles with electricity.
Who is Pikachu?
You got it.
I don't know. Do we buzz? Gotta buzz in?
I was going to yell Pikachu, but then I forgot we got to form the sentence, and I got stuck.
Yes, there you go. Brain didn't want to form the sentence. Okay. For $800. A species of Lombax, this skilled mechanic befriended a robot named Clank who crash-landed on Veldin.
Who is Bandicoot?
No.
Oh, no, who is Ratchet?
Who is Ratchet?
But who's his buddy? It's a
Ratchet
duo.
and Clank.
Who's Clank?
There you go.
Oh.
For $1,200. In this game series, Geralt of Rivia set out for an adventure on his horse, which, for some reason, is named Roach.
What is The Witcher?
There you go. 1,600. Here are some clever names. Kazooie is a kazoo-playing bird who teams up with his bear named for the string instrument he plays.
Who is Banjo and Kazooie?
You got it. 2,000. God of War explores the father-son dynamic of Kratos, who teams up with his son to wreak havoc upon enemies.
What is God of War?
No, that's the name of it. What's the son's name?
Oh, who is Boy?
Boy. Who's Boy?
Who's
Oh,
Boy?
shit, I forgot what his regular name is.
His real name is, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Boy?
It's in the front of my brain.
Frontal lobe.
Oh,
I don't believe
crud.
the answer is who is Loki.
That's not.
They're looking
who
for-
it is.
Loki.
They're looking for his other
No.
name.
No, they want his son.
That is his son.
Sorry, I spoiled the game for you.
Uh-oh.
I thought Loki was the other was one of the other guys
Loki
in it.
is the other guy. It's totally right. Yep. That's what's happening.
But that's not the name of the son.
Oh shit.
Oh no. Ah.
Is he also Loki? I thought Loki was another character.
It is
in
another
it.
character. Yep, it's another character.
Ah. I can tell you, I haven't played God of War.
What is? Oh no.
It starts with
Starts with
E.
an A.
A?
Atreus. Who is Atreus?
There you go.
There it is.
Jesus
I was like,
Christ. Why was that
Fuck
so
me.
painful?
Oh, that was painful.
All right.
Yikes.
This other round was done another day on another session. Ken Jennings read out these questions again. So this one wasn't like because I think that one was on a second round of Jeopardy, like the second phase, because the points were so high. This starts at 200, which seems more normal.
Oh,
Okay, this category is the cozy gamer.
all right.
That's us.
My
Is
cousin.
a category on Jeopardy.
It's my cousin.
Yeah, there we go. $200. It truly is a saga in this game, in which you traverse tasty levels with Mr. Toffee. Divine.
What is Candy Crush?
You got it.
What? Wow.
Divine gave it away for me.
Divine.
Oh wow. All right. Good call.
For $400. Tom Nook and Blathers are but a few of the adorable, funny friends while
What is
getting your
in-
Yeah.
islands up. I can't even
I was like, should I save her? Should I just say it?
Oh my god. It was so funny too, because in the clip, like they're jumping around and this one dude says Animal Crossing for like 3 different categories until he gets it right at this
Oh, Hardy,
so
no.
Good strategy.
So cute. Okay, for 600. In this title place, you can create the farm of your dreams and become friends with the residents of Pelican Town.
What is Stardew Valley?
You got it. For 800, the one-word title of this 2022 game implies our plucky feline is homeless. He's got to solve a mystery and find his way home.
What is Stray?
You got it. And the last one for 1,000. This game sees you trading the Pocoyo city life for a job setting up a farm and restoring the local reefs.
What is Coral
Coral
Island?
Island.
You got it.
I'm gonna.
Good at this game.
I am gonna. Actually, Stray is not a cozy game.
That's true. It
I
is
know,
not a
that
cozy
Whole
game.
level with the
It's a-
body horror
Not cool.
and finding
not cool.
out why the town is devoid of humans.
Yeah. Not cozy.
I think they
No.
kind of spun it as a cozy game
sure
to start,
did.
though.
They
That
sure
was
did.
Hey,
a
like,
bold-faced
That was
lie.
It
It
took
was
a
a bait
turn.
and switch.
Yeah, I was really nervous for the ending, and then the ending is like, I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh,
At least this
yeah.
ends, like,
I'm not
fairly
gonna lie.
alright.
The beginning of that game where the cat falls, it was fucking
Well,
terrifying.
it,
Well,
it
yeah.
starts with
Doing? Is this Ori again?
yeah. It starts
Yeah.
with cute cats and then trauma,
A trauma.
and then
Yeah.
there's like adventure with like weird shit that you could not phantom with robots. And then at
Yep.
the end, it's
Robots?
just like, oh, the cat finds his family and walks away. And I'm just like, and I have to sit with everything I just went through.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
process that and then spend $200 in therapy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why you do this to us, games? Why you making me feel the feels?
Bait and switch.
God damn it. All right. Talking about games, we're going to get into topic of the week right after this break because a lot of folks are playing games that are coming out very soon. And we're back. Topic of the show this week is all the games we're playing. Why because we're in our little review season right now because there's tons of games coming out because it's February. And it's the perfect weather outside to do so because we borderline had a snowstorm on the weekend. A lot of snow for Toronto, that is. And I stayed in and enjoyed a lot of Foundation. Girls, I am fucking obsessed with this game. This is probably one of the best city builders I've played in a really long time.
Really?
Like,
Wow.
yeah, like 30 hours in. And like every time like I get a little bit further and I'm learning things and whatever, and then I do something where there's a new mechanic and totally botch it all up and then restart it all over again after I learn how the mechanic works. The whole people can like, you give them a region and then you can kind of like land where they want to. It's just so complex in like how I want to grid out my space that it really sends my OCD over for like everything being so neat and tidy and clean and like making sure that I've got like, you know, like working systems of like, you know, factory items and all that kind of stuff of like creating spaces and all this kind of stuff. And the key thing that I didn't realize too, that you don't really learn when you're first starting the game, and I think it's just something that you kind of clue into over time, is that the little villagers want to live close to their work. So, like, there'll be times when it's like, you have insufficient housing, and I'll put areas for people to go and live and build their houses. And I'm like, why the hell are they not doing it? And it's like, no, they want something close to work. And then I didn't realize that you can, like, level up the areas where your villagers live so that more villagers can live in houses. And there's, like, 3 different tiers. So you can have more dense population and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, it's just so good. It just scratches that itch for me. And it is getting a lot of praise online, gotta say. Like, it, like, well, mind you, my YouTube is flooded because that's what I'm actively consuming and looking for. But, so the algorithm, she works. But yeah, if you're into city builders, this is definitely a must play. Like, it's now, well, not like we've played a lot of games this year, but definitely on the top of my games played of 2025, and probably will be by the end of the year too if it continues going the way it's going. Yeah. Joelle, you are playing a game that I'm also pretty keen on getting my fingers on as well. Spirit Swap Lo-Fi Beats, which came out last week? No. Did it come out last week? Or the 17th? When did it come out?
It's out, yeah. So
yes, it's out now.
It's out now, Yep, so the full title is a little bit of a mouthful, but it's Spirit Swap Lo-Fi Beats to Match 3-2, and it's as if Tetris and Candy Crush had the most relaxed baby that knew you wanted to play a witchy Technicolor dating sim in between trying to match 3 to get the highest score.
What?
Like, it's cool. Like, so Spirit Swap has you playing as Samar, and she's the coolest plant mom witch around, who is charged with managing trans-dimensional spirits, or basically the sprites that you swap around to match, who occasionally cross over to the land of the living and kind of gunk up the works for Samar and her besties, who are just trying to live their lives and go see the biggest concert of the year. So you start off the game, and you have a lot of options to start. You can go right to battle if you want to. You can go right to co-op. But I'd suggest starting in story mode. And that takes about 4 hours to play through, including the tutorial. So it's real short. And you meet your friends in the town of, I think I'll pronounce this correctly, Damashq, who are all pumped about getting to attend this concert, but need help kind of clearing up the spirits in their own little area in order to go to the show on time. And the music keeps the vibes chill, and the art style is like anime meets Lisa Frank aesthetic, and it sets the tone for a night of relaxed gaming without sacrificing like difficulty, art style, narrative, voice acting, or feels. Like, this is the deepest like matching game you'll ever you'll ever encounter. It has pretty much everything you could hope for a puzzle game. You can do collectibles. You can decorate your room. After story mode is done, you continue on, and it kind of turns into like a dating sim, and you continue to see the through lines of your friends' story to help out with their problems. You have more spirit swap match battles. You can romance characters if you'd like. And it's set in such an extraordinary and unique world. You can tell that the writers and the love for this game really shines through with the character development and the voice acting. It's really, really cool. So I loved diving into this game for like an hour or two, at a time, trying my hand at clearing the rows and doing as much as I could with the high scores, and just enjoying like the true lo-fi beats. And there's so much art to enjoy, and there's 1,000 little details that you can pick up on each time you go back to one of your friends' area, and each person has a familiar because they're kind of like set like in a witchy kind of demon spiritual aesthetic, and it's so stinking cute. Like it's so fun to find all the little Easter eggs and trinkets for you to find. It's a debut publishing title for Soft Not Weak LLC. And it was originally as a Kickstarter, and they raised over $150,000 to bring this project to life. And so Spirits Swap Lo-Fi Beats to Match 3-2 is out now on Steam and Xbox. It's not on Game Pass, but right now it's out for $19.99 USD. And I think it's totally worth picking up. When you go into the Kickstarter page, they're going to have DLC content. They're going to have more fashion content for you to be able to dress up different characters. And it's such a lovely game. I don't think I've enjoyed such a strong but simple narrative in a while. So I had so much fun. I think overall, if you wanted to fully beat the game with all the collectibles, it's probably going to take you maybe like 10-ish hours to do everything. And then, of course, you can easily start a new game file if you want to like romance different characters, or if you want to play the main story again. So it's really cool. I can't wait to see what more like comes out from this franchise. I think there's a lot of good stuff for it to blossom and for it to grow. But like, if you want to live your Technicolor fantasy, man, like pick up this game. There's so much there.
Questions. So I think this is going to be a sick mobile game. Did you play it on your Steam? Is it Steam Deck that you have, or ROG Ally?
I played it on, so I started playing it on my PC, and then after I started it on the PC, I went right to the Ally, and then I basically finished the game on the Ally, and it was wonderful, like, on the go. I can't wait. I hope it comes to mobile, because it would be one of those things where, like, if I'm waiting for like an appointment, or if I'm, have a few minutes to kill, like, I'd want to fire that up and like do some matching and some swapping and like play a few rounds. So I really hope they like get to that like kind of like a Candy Crush like kind of thing. And so I played it on the Ally, and it was great. I loved playing it. That would be my preferred way to play it, would be on like to be cozy on couch or in a bed, and like you're just like, that's the vibe of it. So yeah.
In the music.
Oh, the music was so cool. I think that it really encompassed and captured the different kind of areas that your friends are at, and the way that they did the narrative for like queer people of color, very inclusive, very, I would say, like the range of people that they represented in this game is so cool. So the main protagonist, Samar, and like the place that's set, it has a lot of Arabic type of flavor and nods to it, and some like Arabic language and slang and things like that. So it's got a nice undertone of something that's a little bit different and something that I personally like don't get exposed to that much in playing video games. So I thought that was a nice, unique type of flair. And the music really fits the different settings that you have for your friends. So like one of your friends is a baker and there's a bakery. So some of the notes give off like sweet and fun, and another friend like lives on the beach, and so there's like a wavy kind of sound and the waves crashing and like tiki drinks clinking and things like that. And there is such a cool through beat too. And as you're playing, when you're swapping and kind of going against your friends, each round you play for 3 rounds before the matches end, and each round the music gets a little bit faster.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like that tick of like just that something a little bit different, and that like minor detail that I caught as I was playing, I thought was such a neat touch of like you're getting near the end of something, and so the music is speeding up, but not to the sense of like, you know, Sonic underwater panicking. It's just this like gentle coast, this gentle current that's like we're almost there, and like a crescendo like to the end of something great. So it was really cool. I actually was gonna look at, I didn't know if I could find the music on a streaming service like to actually just listen to.
Let's see. I'm hitting on their thing now. They're
like
accept all. So this is on Bandcamp. So I think you could probably listen to it, or you can download it on Bandcamp. I don't know if it's also on Spotify.
It is on Spotify.
Sick. Okay.
Yeah, so this was something I was definitely going to add to like my, you know, if you're reading or if you want like a
yeah,
like
or you're working or something and you want something to kind of be there.
Like synthy. What's the one where yeah, like beach pop, like synth pop, just like something that's, you know, you really want to chill out on.
Sick.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So I would, even if you don't want to pick up the game, like at least even you can check out the music, because the music is dope.
Yeah, I need to play this. It's just a debate. Do I play it on PC? Do I play it on Xbox? I don't know, because I don't have that mobile Steam device. But the more I think about it, the more I want one. I've been playing a lot of things on Steam lately. All right. Well, thanks, Joelle.
No, thank you, because this was a pleasure. It was.
You can thank Jenny Wyndham. It's
I will.
She worked on it. We'll be
was
talking to her again
phenomenal.
soon. Yeah. Catherine, speaking about witchy vibes, Avowed.
Yes. Honestly, this is the kind of game. How can I put my TLDR? If you were slightly disappointed by Dragon Age Veilguard's story, you need to play Avowed.
Oh, wow.
In the sense that, like, I think, like, every AAA game that's come out recently, I think they always make concessions on something. Avowed, the story is very strong. The characters are very strong. The first character you meet is Kai, from Routen. In this world, this is Aurora, which is the Pillars of Eternity world. They're like fish people. He is voiced by the same guy that does Garrus from Mass Effect.
Oh, amazing.
Oh.
So there you go. You could have like fucking high fantasy fish Garrus with you. I think I just convinced like a good like 2 million people to play. But yeah, so the premise of Avowed is you are an envoy from the Empire of Aether. And you are a shit, I forgot the name. You are touched by a god.
Okay.
And a godlike. There we go. That's the name. Which is a race in this world. which if you've played D&D, it's very tiefling celestial adjacent. And the thing that's big about Aora, what you need to know about the world of Aora if you haven't played Pillars of Eternity, is that it's a world where reincarnation and souls power the whole thing. This cycle is very important. You have basically Animancer, which is a type of arcane priest type thing that will do soul magic. You have a thing called Adra, which are like pieces of stones that collect soul energy. And essentially the way it works, and when you die, your soul goes through the beyond, you get sent through the wheel of reincarnation, you get assigned a new person. And then as you do this, your soul gets used up and weary. Essentially. The first two Pillars of Eternity games, you played a Watcher, which is somebody who's awakened and can tap into their soul's past lives. And I'm not going to spoil those games, but essentially following what happened in Pillars of Eternity 2, the wheel was damaged and all the gods called back their godlike. So all the godlikes kind of dropped dead because their soul was taken out of their body. So in Avowed, you're the first godlike in like a decade or two. And godlikes have markings, like specific markings. And when you walk around, they're like, oh yeah, you're this god. You're a god of Wodika. You're a godlike of Berith. And depending which type of god, because their physicality and their power will manifest. Mm-hmm. Whether it's horns or things like that. You show up and you've got like fungus and flowers and flora sprouting out of you, and they're like, we have A, you're alone, B, we have no idea whose god you are touched by. And so following what happened in the two previous games, the Emperor of Adir is strapped for resources, cash, so they go to Living Lands, which is like this island of basically untapped frontier, to colonize it and steal shit. It's a city mostly like, think piratey, in the sense that a lot of people kind of go there because it's a bit more loosey-goosey on the laws or to escape things. It's very hard to live there. It's very hard to survive there. They started trying to colonize and take over the place. They sent also some fucking zealots called the Steel Garrote. So think Templars from Dragon Age. Huh. But instead of just hating mages, they hate every fucking buddy that doesn't pray to their god. So automatically I hated those guys. Because like, this is a role-playing game. You make your character and then you have like dialogue options, and you can be like, yeah, Empire, or you could be like, I am a victim of circumstances. And you choose your origin story, right? I went with a noble scion. Like, I was in the court. They sent me over there. And once I saw what was happening over there, I was like, oh God. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. And starting to slowly erode my pride in my homeland. This is my hero story. It can be different for everybody. So basically you land in the city of Paradise, and you're there because there's an affliction plaguing the land called the Dream Scourge. And it starts with fucking weird dreams. And then eventually you have mushrooms growing out of you, and then you become a dream thrall. And you become essentially this fungus zombie, but that spout poetic nonsense. When people start...
A lot less creepy than Last of Us.
Yeah, I don't know. Psychological war. Like
the clickers?
The clicks are like, yeah, okay, something's trying to... But once you kind of like, you're just going somewhere, and then you see a bunch of people coming at you, shouting stuff like... The earth shall reap what it sow. Oh, the vine, I pluck thy fruit. And then they whack you in the face. I'm just like,
Like,
Okay.
oh God.
What's happening here? And on top of that, you show up to the island, a voice starts talking in your head.
That's a good sign.
Yes.
Oh, so you've got a little bit of sensual sacrifice going on there now too.
Yeah. So people are like, because you show signs of like flora. It's visible. I chose like a big mushroom that grows out of my head like a crown. You're clearly touched, and you're hearing the voice in your head, but you're like, am I getting the dream scourge? But turns out, no, basically there's a governing entity, body. There's a spirit to this land, and it's talking to you.
Oh.
So not to spoil it, but it's probably why the entity that touched you and made you into a godlike. I'm not going to spoil the intricacy of this relationship. This happens like in the first 5 minutes of the game. You learn about that you're a godlike. You don't know who touched you. You go to this island because of the dream scourge. You put your foot on the island. This voice just pops into your head. So I put 2 and 2 together. I was like, I guess you're the reason I have a giant mushroom growing out of my head.
Video game problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah. And that's about it I'm going to say for the story. Because everything else is like about exploration. It's about the choices you make. Gameplay wise, honestly, if you've played like stuff like Dragon Age and you're like, I wish this was more like Skyrim, play Avowed. I'm playing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm playing third person. I'm also a heretic that played Skyrim in third person because motion sickness.
Oh, you can play in third person?
Yes.
Oh, thank God you can play them both.
No, the reason I didn't want to play this game, I didn't think you could. Oh, sick.
Yes. It's clearly made for first person. Like there's a lot of parkour to like climb up mountains and jump at stuff.
Yeah.
And you can tell from the animation, the way the character floats, almost like in a through line and then grabs the ledge.
Yeah.
I am not playing in the way it was optimized for, but I'm like, I don't care. I will take stuff that's a bit ugly or weird or clunky
Yeah.
over uninstalling this game because I'm getting motion sick, right?
Puking.
Exactly.
Just say puking.
Yeah, I usually stop before that, but also I think it shows that this studio you made mostly like CRPGs or things like that because some of the animations, like especially the cinematics, like in the face and the mouth, are slightly off. And I was like, okay, like this is. I haven't played a lot of Obsidian games. I haven't played a lot of modern Obsidian games. Because I've played like Neverwinter Nights. I think they made a Star Wars. Or was that BioWare? I think they've made one of the Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, I think
It was basically BioWare and Obsidian like bouncing off like the Knights of the Old Republic and the Baldur's Gate and the D&D games. Like, and then they kind of like decided to make their own like space opera and fantasy games. Basically. Yeah, but one thing that is amazing is the cloth.
like the texture of cloth.
Everybody's outfits
Yeah.
looks too real, too good.
Really?
Yeah, just the texture, the quality. You can tell when somebody's wearing something that looks like linen, the padded armors or the fine silks. Like it just, or even like if they're wearing rags, it's so good compared to like some of the hair. Mind you, the hair is not that bad. It's just coming off of Dragon Age.
I was about to say.
Yeah,
I mean, you're
fabulous
coming
hair.
from a 10 out
Yeah.
of 10 when it comes to hair.
I think Dragon Age is the new like is the new Neck Plus Ultra in terms of like video game hair. But it's still
Gold star video
Yeah.
game hair.
Yeah, true.
So
that.
if we took, what you're saying is if we took the video game hair of Veilguard and the fabrics of Avowed
I would have
It's-
the perfect.
How do we need something from metallics and metals and things so that we can just have the best fashion game ever.
We can
I'm
some stuff from some of the crazy fashion from Dragon Age and some stuff from Baldur's
Yeah.
Gate 3. Honestly,
Yeah,
you take these
yeah.
3 games
yeah.
and you can make the
That crossover.
ultimate high fantasy game.
Yeah. I could see how I'm watching like some video of people playing Avowed, and it seems as though that I can see how people may want Dragon Age to have looked like this.
Yeah.
Like this is I can see how people thought from Inquisition this is what the Veilguard was gonna look
Yeah.
like, because I was like, oh, this is what I would think it would, but yeah,
Because
it looks great.
it's slightly more realistic. But just slightly, because there's still like races in there that are crazy. Like I forget the name of the race, but one that's like small with big ears and covered in fur. Yahtzee, one of your companion, is a member of this race. Again, I haven't played Pillars of Eternity. I'm not deep into the Eora lore. I watched some supercuts on the story and the lore and to learn about it as my head was still filled with Dragon Age lore. So I am low on the names. But essentially, the big thing you need to know about this world is they say the kith, so like kiss, but with a th, is they say that for basically the noble races. So the humans, the elves, the dwarves, the Rotans, those little furry guys, compared to like some of the lower races, quote unquote, like the Zarips, which you keep killing, which are the basically the Aeron version of goblins, just like trash mobs to give you a reason to grind and upgrade your gear. But yeah, the character system is very simple yet highly customizable. You have 3 classes: warrior, ranger, wizard, and then you have your godlike skill tree ability. That one is not customizable. It's just as you play the game, you get more abilities.
Which one did you play as?
I'm
What
playing.
would you go through?
I had decided to finally take the plunge and play a sword and board build. So I got a shield.
Oh.
I got a sword. I took a cue from you, Joelle, from Dragon Age. I made a very, very beautiful man that has a shield and a sword.
Yeah. I'm an influencer.
I would have thought you would have went wizard, but no.
Because I'm still deep in the wizard playthrough of Dragon Age, but I was like, I kind of want to test something out. And I've got you can, by the way, you can do a fully hybrid build. You have,
You got
Oh,
choices.
that's cool.
yeah, you have 2 loadouts, easy to swap with Y. You could do easily a caster and melee person, or, so, but I went full tank, full sword and board. So sorry, Kai, he's parked at he's the tanky character. He's often parked at camp right now. I tend to leave with the Animancer, which is a healer, Giata, and either Marius or Yahtzee, which are a hunter and a wizard. So, but yeah, I went through the ranger tree to get stuff like parries or extra damage with like one-handed weapons. And then the warrior tree, I went with stuff like the barbaric shout and anything that's like with the shield. The shield bash is so satisfying. Just like just doing a great parry and then having a counter attack, which, by the way, I am very good at parrying. Thank you for honor. And then like I chose the shield bash. Like if you're holding, it's very simple. Like some mechanics, you need to have like your stuff mapped to your buttons, or you have to open the wheel to get an ability, like in Dragon Age or like in Baldur's Gate. This one, like the shield bash, is if you are blocking with your shield. So the controls are very simple. Trigger is your left trigger is your left hand, right trigger is your right hand. So if you have 2 weapons, you just mash the triggers and you hit. If you have a shield, you hold left and you block. And if you do hit right trigger to do your attack while you have the shield up, you'll bash. So I don't have to map it, do an extra shit. It's just like I bash and I can follow up. It's amazing.
Ooh, that's nice.
And then for my second loadout, which I don't use that much other than to like get stuff that's far away or to break barrels, or like when enemies approach, I kind of like pelt them with a bit, and then I whip out my shield and sword. In the world of Aora, there's guns. Like in your true pirate dream, there's blunderbusses. So I got a pair of pistols. I found a fancy pistol, a unique weapon that I upgraded that does electric damage. And yeah, when they start running at me, I shoot. I get shooting like Rootin' Tootin' shooting Texas, just like boop, 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 boop. The only thing is like guns versus bows and arrows is guns, they explode. So if you're not stealthy, but I decided like nuts to the stealth approach, which is what I usually do. Nuts to magic, which is the other thing I usually do. I am just going to go in literally guns blazing.
Nice.
And when they get to me,
Yeah.
shield, sword, shield bash them, and just start swinging my sword and just fucking love it. Honestly, like,
Nice.
I'm really enjoying the combat system. I think it's very simple, but the fact that you are not limited to one thing, you can spend your points as you want. You can do very easily customizable builds. Very easily. Can get very deep. Or you can just do like me and kind of like stick to one thing and just do it very well. Considering you always have 2 companions with you. And you do have your godlike abilities, which are like, you know, like magic adjacent. Like you always have something in your arsenal. So yeah, I did not invest in my guns at all, other than I found good ones. So I mostly use them to like, if there's a dynamite barrel and things like that. So that's what I went with. And then in terms of gameplay, they were like, hey, this is like Skyrim. You should explore shit. It's not as overwhelming because you have regions. So instead of having the big old map, like in Skyrim or Oblivion, you start in one area. And that area is the first area, and you have like lower level enemies. And then you have a second area, and then you have a third, and you go around that map. And as you progress through the story, these areas have higher rated enemies. The enemies don't scale with you. So you can be underpowered, overpowered. And they went with a gear system that's very similar to Dragon Age in the sense that there's not a lot of variety in the gear, but you upgrade it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have had the same shield and sword for, I would say, half the game. Because I found them early game, and they're really good, and they suit my play style. And I found other shields, and some of them I kept, but you know, like you want to destroy the stuff because you need the upgrade materials to upgrade your stuff. When you find unique items, you kind of want to hold on to them for that reason. And I just switched my armor recently, because before that I have found a piece of armor. I was like, this is really good. Because like if I took a big hit for like more than 30% of my health would go, I would automatically cast Barbaric Shout, which is one of the warrior abilities. And that was very strong for me because it's a nice, oh fuck, you know, and helps you survive, right? Because Barbaric Shout, it taunts enemies, but also gives you like speedier attacks. If you've invested in it, you get like extra health and stuff like that. But now that I've invested so much in like my shield abilities, I don't get those kinds of hit anymore. Yeah. So I switched. I found a new piece of armor. So that I'm sorry to upgrade that. I would say the flaw in that system, pardon me, the flaw in that system is when you do find new pieces of armor, if you've heavily invested in your other pieces, like often they will need upgrades. So you'll get it. You're like, this is better, but like, you know, on the quality scale, like this is on 0 upgrades out of 3 for this tier.
Yeah.
But what I've been using, I've invested a lot of materials to get them to 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3. So sometimes it feels like, ugh.
Yeah.
If you're very like gung-ho about it, you can just say, yeah, this is better, and just destroy your current gear to get the material and then upgrade that piece. Or you can hoard it, but you can't really, you have to be really thoughtful about how you upgrade and how you spend it. However, it is possible that when you find unique items that they follow you throughout the entire game. And that they're good enough. They're very good. So it's very much that system of more limited inventory, more limited amount of gear in the game, less trash, less like random shit, and more like thoughtful choices about that kind of gear and what you want to do. And when you find a unique item, you really want to invest in enchanting it and upgrading it. And when you find unique items that you don't want to use for your build, to destroy them, to use for the materials. I've also been to merchants to buy materials, which is like, I've rarely done that in games, like use merchant to buy shit. I usually just use merchant to sell, because I'm such like a scavenger, like, you know, going to every depth, looting everything, that I've rarely had to go to merchants. I go to merchants once in a while and I'm like, yeah, I'll buy some adder off of you and some pelts and some wood, just to get my shit up to snuff. Because it's not as generous of a system. It's not.
Okay.
It doesn't rain upgrade materials. You really have to think about it. Other than that, like, the game is beautiful. Playing our Xbox Series X. The environments are so lush and vibrant and colorful, and I love it. And at night, I think I'll drop some screenshots for you girls in the Discord. And at night, like, the mushrooms are glowing.
Ooh.
Aww.
They're a light source.
Yeah, so it's
Bioluminescence.
such a gorgeous game. Obsidian, why no photo mode?
Maybe coming later.
I hope so. I had to go in the settings and turn off the UIs to take these screenshots.
Ooh.
Okay. Ooh.
So yeah, and I also have a family shot of me, Kai, and Marius.
Oh, is that you with like the weird thing on your head?
Yeah, that's my mushroom crad.
Your mushroom crown.
Yeah, you can pick, like, you know, in your character selector, create a character, you can pick which godlike features you have.
Do you have to be male? Cool. Can you choose to be female?
Yes. You can choose your gender, your pronouns, the whole thing.
Cool.
You are cute. This is nice.
Yeah. Thank you. You are limited to human or elf.
Okay. You can't be the blue dude.
No, you can't be the blue dude, and you can't be a dwarf or stuff. It was human or elf. And basically, yeah, that would the base race, and then you are a godlike. So you can choose to hide. If you don't like the godlike features and you don't want to see them, you can choose to hide them.
Okay.
But all the NPCs will act as if you've got like a big thing growing out of your head, because it's part of the story. But you can hide it for aesthetic reasons. I personally think they were cool. They were really
that, like, you know, third person shot that you have where it's in the dark and whatever, you can kind of see it on top of the head. Too bad that's not glowing too.
Yeah, I took a photo of me in the...
Be like a little siren to let people know you're walking around.
Oh, cool.
Like, look at me.
Yeah, so I got stuff like this one, you'll see it more, and I also have stuff over my eyebrow. There was a wide array of stuff. Like, there was one like where you had like actual like branches and flowers like out of your head. It was really amazing, honestly. The choices were great, and good diversity, like in hairstyles, hair textures, stuff like that. I went for a dude that kind of looks like Southeast Asian, East Asian, Abhishek looking kind of dude. with long black hair.
He's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I just saw a bunch of features. I put them together and I was like, I'm trying to be thoughtful and be like, hey, let's make a character that's not white. Sometimes I make a character that's like, if I make a female character, I try to get them to look like me. When I make male characters, I'm like,
that's what I usually do.
yeah, I male characters, I'm like, let's explore like something else. And then often I get disappointed by the non-white features, like in the early Dragon Age Inquisition. Yeah. All the Dragon Age, very, very, very white focus, but at the same time, old video games. These newer ones, like Coral Island, this one, Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age Veilguard.
Yeah.
Definitely, like, if you want to be like, yo, I want to make, like, my favorite K-pop star, you can, because there's enough, like, features for you to do this.
Yeah.
Got the eye shape, the head shapes, the face shape, the colors, the hairstyle, right? So many curly hair hairstyle in this one, which is one of the hair textures that always gets like ignored. So it's not just like a bunch of like silky hair in like a ponytail and this and that, and then dreadlocks, and then we move on. Like there's a lot of like breadth and diversity. So yeah, DEI doing the good work. I'm gonna put it out there. That's what it's for. So, long story short, I'm enjoying the fuck out of this game. I think I'm about halfway through, or 2/3 of the way through. In true Catherine fashion, I'm doing all the side quests. I don't care. Like I have to review this. I'm not gonna get to the end for this review.
Fine. Keep going.
Yeah, and I think it's a very good, like, if you love high fantasy games, RPGs, this is a good one. I just wish the one thing I don't like is our characters don't have a voice.
Okay.
So it's not like Dragon Age where your character speaks. In Baldur's Gate, the narrator kind of offset the fact that your character didn't speak and could add like a level of like this is how you kind of reacted, or you know, like adding more context.
Yeah.
And this is not the case for this game. Everything is voice acted except you. Which I didn't realize Dragon Age spoiled me in that regards, because that's not like something that's new in these types of games. Like if you've played a lot of the CRPGs, or if you've played Skyrim, you know, your character doesn't speak. I think I just really enjoy it more when your character speaks. Or like I said in Baldur's Gate 3, that narrator kind of like made it so that I didn't notice that my character wasn't voiced outside of like the casting spells or taking fall damage or getting hit in the face. But yeah, I get why it got pushed back, because
polish?
Polish, just the breadth of the game, the size. I think Obsidian, this is like a AAA game, from which I do believe is more like a double A studio. Like lately, like Obsidian did stuff like Outer Wilds, which felt a bit more like contained. But again, this game is big, has a lot of content, but they don't bloat it. There's not a lot of bloat compared to like the Skyrims of this world. Like Dragon Age didn't have a lot of bloat either, which I think you appreciate, because a lot of times why people fall off games like Skyrim or Witcher 3 is just you open the map and you see everything that has to be done and you get over fucking whelmed really quickly.
True.
This one, you have every area. There's not a lot of side objectives. Like every area has bounties. You can go and kill somebody for a bit of cash. The two things I say don't skip. there's always a point where you have memories of your past life, because in this game everybody is a reincarnated soul. So keep that in mind. These offer a lot of just breadth of story to your character. And then you have the strangled Adras, that when you interact with them, you learn more about the entity that's speaking in your head.
Okay.
About their history as well, and how this is intertwined with your past lives. Like, if you want a lot of lore, do these things. After that, the bounties, they're fun to, like, make sure you're leveling up, you're getting upgrade items, and then the side quests are nice for the world building and the lore. None of them felt like bloated fetch quests so far. Like, there's not... Every area so far doesn't have like 20 things for you to do. Like, it's not that big. I just wish, one last thing, I just wish the Fog of War was more generous. Like, when you walk around, how you uncover the map, like, it's just so thin. Like, I ended up like doing circles just so I could get the full map cleared out to make sure
Okay.
just to make sure I didn't miss something or whatever. And especially like the game's not out, so there's stuff that is like, I want to do the extra shit, like find like all the collectibles of a thing, because, and then I'm like, they give you cryptic, poetic clues, and I'm like, I don't know, but I can't fucking Google it.
Reviewer problems.
And in terms of bugs, I don't think the bugs I'm encountering are going to make it to the final build. I think this is very much a review build problem.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes the bodies fall through the floor. So I have 2 bounties I couldn't complete because I couldn't loot the bodies, because they sank into the floor, and I was like, I need to loot.
Damn you, quicksand.
Come back.
Yeah. So I think once we get like the final build and I reinstall the game, or I upgrade my build or update my build,
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty sure they're gonna have fixed that, and then I'll go through those areas and I'll be able to finish the quests. At one point, every time I drank a potion mid battle, which is a lot, I chug these like water. Sometimes the game would crash.
Oh.
Interesting.
Damn.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, again, like I said, the systems are simple. You don't have 2 systems for, like, you don't have mana for magic and then stamina for warrior stuff. If you want to use your special ability, it uses essence, whether you're casting or whether you're doing your special ability. So you have, every character has stamina for their basic attacks. So you can't spam your basic attacks, and do power attacks. You have to manage your stamina for your basic attacks, and then you have to manage your essence for your special stuff. In my case, it's like the barbaric shout and other abilities like that. And I'm not very smart. This man is very much sword and board as a block, attack, retaliate. So I don't have a lot. So I drink a lot of essence potions mid battle. Because, of course, I go everywhere, so I've looted so many potions off dead bodies. So I don't really... I just go through them. I have like 20 in my inventory at any time. And I drink 2 to 3 potions per battle. Like, big battle. Like, not like... But yeah. And at one point, every time I drank a potion, it would crash.
Oh, shit. That's annoying.
Halfway.
That is annoying.
Yeah. So... it stopped doing it at one point. I don't know if it's because I rebooted my console or whatnot. A lot of this, like, I'm like, my gripes with the animations, these bugs, like, I am not sure how much of it will make it to the final build.
Okay.
Because even though I got this 2 weeks ago, this was probably generated like a month.
Yeah.
ago.
I mean... that's the thing. So many things have like day 1 patches, and they'll like tell you like, wait for the day 1 patch, whatever. It's just tough because
well, this is not
that's
a
your
day
experience.
1.
I know, but this is your experience right now. That's what
Yeah.
you're talking about, because you don't know if this is going to translate over.
Yeah, because this is not a day 1 patch. There is no day 1 hasn't happened.
Exactly. There's
Yeah,
no
This
day
is a
one yet. You're
review
on.
build.
You're an
One
alpha,
yet.
beta, whatever.
Yeah.
0.1
So
to the
when
1.
the review comes out is for the pre-release.
Yeah.
So for people that got the special edition or whatnot, you can play as of the 13th, and then everybody else
Yeah.
plays as of the 18th. So how much of this will make it to the final build? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
very minimal in the sense of like the kind of stuff we've seen playing advanced builds in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
So far, it's been quite stable and with very, very minimal like game breaking bugs. So it's really those two things.
That's good.
It's really
That's
those
good.
two things. The rest is just like I said, like sometimes there's like, if there's Dream Scourge on the ground, there's like this holographic effect, like almost
Yeah.
like this holographic vapor coming out of the ground. And like I could see like the cube around the effect at one point. I was just like,
Yeah.
you know, there's a Jira for this. It was backlogged.
Yeah.
It's-
It's not a critical bug.
Yeah.
They were like must fix for final, not must fix for like the reviewers.
Right.
So
So what's your final roundup, Kat? Like,
I think it's if you are a high fantasy RPG person, I think this is a must play. If you've played through the Pillars of Eternity, this is not a CRPG like the Pillars of Eternity. This is very different. This is very much like a Skyrim clone-ish. I still think it's a must play. And you can play in third person. You can play in first person. I think it's really good. I am on the fence. I need to finish it, but I am on the fence of maybe liking it better than Veilguard.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
okay, we'll have to wait and see.
That's
That's a good
intense.
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That sure is.
So far, because two things, right? And one of them is not the hair.
It's the fabric.
The story is definitely, it's a good hook. It's more engaging and it's better. It's better written.
Okay.
Sorry, BioWare.
Oh,
That
wow.
was like, you took a hit in Veilguard.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like the writing and it was not the performance. The actors showed up, but I think some of the lines weren't properly reviewed. So this one, the writing is much better, much tighter. And second is the combat. I kind of prefer the Skyrim style of combat versus this like in Veilguard, which is like, I think you have the same in like Final Fantasy Rebirth, like this kind of like real time chaotic combat where there's a lot of VFX, a lot of shit happening. This feels a bit more concentrated. Like these people played a shit ton of Skyrim and it shows. Yeah, the combat feels less chaotic and feels less all over the place. And you're not as overwhelmed, and your companions are definitely sturdier. And they can take a few hits before you can go to them. Or, you know, or if you have Kai, he can be your tank if you decide to make a glass cannon build for yourself. So I just think it's like the combat is, maybe it's because I'm playing on normal. I feel the combat system is more forgiving. This is a less overwhelming Skyrim.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
That is nice to hear.
Yeah, you don't have to like less VFX, less shit in your face all the time, less all over the place. There are some combats like I'm thinking about that, some of the like that dragon in the crypt that kept calling hordes and hordes and hordes of skeletons, and they kept killing me and I couldn't get my companions to focus on the goddamn dragon. I haven't felt that in this one. Yes, they can get, you know, distracted by mobs, but like if you, I don't know, I found the crowd control a bit easier because there's not as big of a crowd with a bunch of VFX and things like that. So, I think like honestly, like right now, for modern like high fantasy RPGs, my top 3 right now is Baldur's Gate 3, then Avowed, than Bellegarde.
Wow. Crazy. Who would have thunk?
I don't know.
It was worth the wait. It was worth the wait. And who knows? And who knows if Fable will come and change that ranking again?
Oh my God. Yeah, that could the monkey wrench and everything. Hey, it's a good generation to be into high fantasy.
After such a drought,
Really?
I am
long
drinking at the fountain. I am enjoying this. And even if it means a lot of it is me playing old games, but at least I didn't have to reinstall Skyrim thanks to Avowed.
Yeah. No arrows to the knee. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps up the show for this week. As always, check out the show notes at girlsongames.ca for links to the stories mentioned. Kat, in particular, put up those pictures so that people can check out your character build, your pictures and everything. If you have the power to rate and review podcasts where you're consuming it, that'd be much appreciated. Why? It helps with discovery and pushes us up in the rankings, and any comments help us build our show. So much appreciated. This is the moment in the podcast where I ask the girls to shout out their social media handle so you can follow them anywhere and everywhere online. Catherine, where can people find you?
I am CES. Whoa, I forgot my name.
There you go.
CSDSVINS CSDVA on X, Thread, Blue Sky, Instagram. But you can always find me in the Girls on Games Discord. And I will definitely be posting some of these screenshots to the Girls on Games Instagram and possibly mine.
Perfect. Joelle, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram at JoelleLauren87 and on Blue Sky at JoelleLauren. But always hanging out in the Girls on Games Discord. Come and say hi.
And I am Leah Jewer on most social media platforms, but of course you want to know everything to know about Girls on Games. You can track us down at the Girls on Games on X and Facebook. Just Girls on Games, no thought in there on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky for any other conversation to continue it throughout your daytime and evening. You can go to our Discord channel. That's discord.me/girlsongames. But if you ever need to know anything at all, you can track it down at our home base. That's our website, girlsongames.ca. Thank you, Joelle. Thank you, Catherine. It's been another lovely week in video games, and I'm off to play Foundation. Talk to you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.